Boom. I'm in the room. Welcome. Um, this is a new venture. Today is the 1st of August 2023, and we're going to do a little sort of a news program, myself and my oppo Keith. So, while we're waiting for Keith just to set himself up, we're going to be talking about issues that are in the news at the moment. So some of the top topics. So without too much further ado, I'll bring in Keith. There you go. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Tim. I hope that you are well. And this is part and parcel of live every day in August. And hopefully, we're going to do this every Tuesday morning live with you. What's in the news today? So, I'm looking forward to doing this and seeing if we get some views on it, see if we get any comments or anything like that. It will be really interesting because we haven't, I haven't put anything out previously. So I will see what happens then.
So are you going out on Eagle VP this morning?
Yes, as far as I know. I will check on my phone and just see if it is going live on my channel. So just give me time.
And I can't see it at the moment.
You can't see it at the moment. So I'll have to go in there because it says I'm live. So I'm just having a look. Yes, because I cannot see. So I cannot see anything. No. So I don't know what is happening here because I've signed in.
Yeah. So, while we're trying to sort out the technical issues, what we're going to be doing is we're going out live on my channel and also live out on Keith's channel.
Yeah, but we're not, are we?
But we're not at the moment. So
I do not understand that because it says log in. I logged in and I'm doing everything right, but you've got control of everything. So I'm not like, so it's all right. Anyway, we'll just carry on like this then, Tim, because it doesn't bother me. And we'll try and get it right next time.
Well, let's have a look, see if we can sort it out from here.
Well, you can't because it's got, I can do everything. So is it because I'm look, see, I can change everything like that. So I do not understand why. So it's all right. I'm going out with you. So I'll just have to do a stream on my own. So later on. Yeah.
I mean, what you can do, I can't see it. It doesn't appear to be coming up on your.
No, it isn't.
Your live stream.
No, it isn't.
How bizarre! How
I
very
don't know
strange.
because I clicked on the link and then it says sign in, and I signed in, but it's only going out on the one channel. So, well, whatever. We're all right. I'm not worried about it. So, but we'll get it right for next time. We'll have to do what we should have done is done a private one and just to test it out. Yeah, because it's not coming.
To it.
Yeah, it's not coming live on mine at all.
No. How very strange.
It is, yes, because it should have been live on mine as well, but because we haven't done any for a long time, that's why. So no, it's all right. It's on your channel, so I will do something later on then.
Okay.
Okay.
So we are live. I'm coming to you live from the Heale Manor Studios. I'm your host, Lord Tim Heale, and we've got Keith, who is my co-host. So the first thing we're going to be chatting about this morning is what the government has just announced. 100 new gas and oil licenses issued. Well, have they actually been issued yet? That's the question. He's announced it, but will they get announced? Will they get actually issued? And will the gas and oil companies sort of take up these new licenses to go out and start exploration for new gas and oil fields? That's the question.
In my opinion, Tim, that I don't think they've been issued yet. He just announced it yesterday.
Yeah.
And regarding the second part of the question, do I think the oil and gas companies will go out and drill because of the windfall tax that they're going to have to pay? But they're still going to make a lot of profits. And because of the situation that we are not going to be self-sufficient in solar, wind or tidal by 2050, and it's going to take 20 or 30 years to build these nuclear plants. So we're still going to rely on oil for most of this century, I would have thought, and gas.
It's inevitable that we're going to have to. I mean, what they should be doing is investing in Rolls Royce, and getting these modular nuclear power stations up and running. They're fairly quick and simple to put in. I mean, they do it on nuclear submarines and the like. So, and you get one of those, and it'll give power to sort of 100,000 homes.
Yeah.
Good morning, Valletta. So we've got. Well, I think we're both well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but back to that then, Tim. Yeah. I do believe that they are making advances, but we in this country have got to find a better way to insulate our homes, because I did read after he announced the new oil and gas licenses for drilling in the North Sea that most of our homes here in the UK are energy efficient enough. And I did hear, or I did see, or on the news that every new build now should have solar panels on, and I've always said that. But instead of creating these big these big solar farms, if they had solar panels on every roof, house roof or flat roof or bungalow, then you become self-sufficient in your own space. All right, weather like this, like we've got now, cloudy, you're not going to get much, but even when it's cloudy, you still get a little bit. So that all helps. And if you've got it on every roof, or
I can speak with some authority on solar panels. I've got solar panels on the house. We've got 4 kilowatt set up, and let me I'll tell you what we produced yesterday. Yesterday wasn't a particularly good day. There was overcast and there was a bit of sunshine, bit of later in the day. But yesterday, we used 13.6 kilowatts of power. We generated 5.6 kilowatts, and we exported 0.6 kilowatts. That was yesterday.
And that was
an overcast day.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's sunny outside, and we're generating 3.41 kilowatts of power.
Yeah.
So on a sunny day, we generally it's all about 3 kilowatts.
Yeah.
But when the sun goes in, it's not all that clever.
No.
But it does save us some money. We've got a well insulated home. So I'm keeping down the costs. We've got gas central heating, which is a godsend. During the winter, we try and keep it down to about 20 degrees when it's sort of minus cold outside.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Yeah. So I know we're getting off the subject a bit, Tim, but what do you think to these heat pumps then? Would you consider purchasing.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Have you seen the size of these things? They're massive.
Yeah.
And when it's cold outside, they don't work.
Don't they? Oh.
No.
I don't know a lot about them.
Well, what it is it's a thing that uses electricity to generate hot water that pumps around the house. And that's where they don't, because it can't. You're using a lot of energy to heat up these things to push it around the home.
Yeah.
It's like an air conditioning unit.
Yeah.
I mean, they use a lot of power for little. When it's really hot, that just cools it down a little bit. So
So
and it's the same principle.
I don't know whether you remember that. I remember when I used to go up to the Fitties here in Humberston, Cleethorpes, the chalets, and they all had little windmills, little wind things, turbines to charge the battery up many years ago. And I often think that you've got wind farms now, but if every house had solar panels, a wind generating thing, that we could then become self-sufficient in our own little homes. But
I mean, the fact is,
we still haven't got a good energy policy. Sorry,
no,
Tim.
I mean, if you look at generating electricity or the power that we need, and when the sun doesn't shine, solar powers aren't all that clever. When the wind's not blowing, it doesn't work either. And here's a live update. At the moment, we are. This is renewable energies. I'm with Good Energy, and this is what's produced at this moment. So 6% is biomass. 1% is hydro. 10% is solar. 37% is wind. So that's a total of 54% at this very moment in time. 36% is 9% imports, 27% gas. And then 10% is nuclear. And that's what's produced at this moment in time.
And
that's what we're getting.
It's a nuclear thing that has got to be built up, but it takes years to build these
massive, great power stations. I agree with you, but these small nuclear units, they can have them up and running within a couple of years. And that's what they should be investing in. That's long term. That they last 20, 30 years, 40 years.
But it's like everything in this country. They haven't got long-term plans for anything.
No,
I mean, transport.
It's short-term because of the short-term governments.
I
mean, we've had the Tory government in for 13 years, and they've run out of ideas.
But I mean, you look at Beeching with the railways. He destroyed the railway system. So you think to yourself, instead of having all these big lorries on the road, because I mean, they have extended the lorry sizes now so they can carry more. I always thought, in my opinion, I mean, I read it years and years ago, where if they'd have kept the railways, they could have taken most of the goods on the railways to a distribution point, and then vans like prime vans,
that's what they had with BRS, British Road Services. They used to move it an awful lot of freight on the railways, and then you had the small depots that distributed, and then lorries got bigger, the trains become uncompetitive and slow and all the rest of it, and that's why we're in the situation that we are. Anyway, should we move on from this? This is the 100 new gas and oil wash tanks. Now, the people that are really upset about it are these clowns. the just stop idiots, or just stop oil. I mean, they are beside themselves at the moment. They're planning on more of their protests, more of their upsetting people. I don't know if you saw the other day. There was this other group that's called Just Stop Pissing Us Off. They had a guy infiltrate their what's names, and they turned up at the same place that these guys were about to go and block. I think it was one of the bridges in London. And what they did, they just corralled them on the pavement. and then these Just Stop Oil idiots had planned a party in this church hall, I think it was. It looked like something like a big old church hall. And these guys went in and they got these helium balloons. They got a few of these helium balloons and some rape alarms, and they went in, pulled the pin on the rape alarm and let things go, and they're up on the ceiling. Just Stop Oil, and driving them nuts. And it's okay to protest.
No, I didn't see that. So was that down south? Or
yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know exactly where it was. It didn't say, but it was hilariously funny, giving them some of their own treatment. Yeah, they were having a party. I mean, they're such hypocrites. These Just Stop idiots. They are such hypocrites. They go off on holiday. And they're just. It's a lost cause. And all they're doing is pissing people off, and it's going to get out of hand. It really is. I mean, you're going to see some of these guys getting a proper kicking. There was one the other last week, I think it was, got a clout and knocked to the ground and kicked. And there's lots of people now pushing them out of the way, and it's going to get more and more violent. And they're asking for it.
I mean, there are other ways really to protest and get the message across, not walking slow and stopping traffic and interrupting sports or other events. I mean,
what they're doing by walking slow is causing traffic jams, which is causing more environmental damage.
Agreed on that.
They don't get it, do they? Just don't get it.
They just don't get it now. Fully agreed on that, Tim.
I mean, if they really want to make a difference, they would do like Reform UK. They would stand a candidate in every single constituency at the next general election and put their case to get voted in, and then they can make the laws. They can make the changes that they want.
But this is it, because
that's hard. That's difficult for them. With a two-party it's a difficult thing to get in. I mean, this is one of the things that I'm sort of campaigning for Reform UK. I think looking at their manifesto, looking at what they stand for, looking at their ideas and their fresh ideas and their good ideas on making this country great again, and their policy on reforming the NHS, reforming the gas and oil. I mean, they will allow fracking. And we've got this. Why are we importing so much gas and oil from around the world? Why are we when we've got it under our feet? Just doesn't make sense.
But then you've got do-gooders who say we don't want fracking in our area. It's like building houses.
The question is, do you want to pay high prices for your fuel?
But it's like building houses. It's the same problem there.
We don't want it on our doorstep.
And this is it. I mean, we need houses. We need all this. We've got to become energy sufficient as soon as possible, because with what's happening in the world nowadays, I mean, you've got Russia, you've got this happening in Africa now. Russia's in Africa, the Wagner Group. I know I'm getting into it, but you look and you think it's a very unstable world. Because he's not done the grain agreement again, renewed that, our grain price is going to go up, which they will do. So that means bread, cereals, everything's going to go up again. we're going to get gas and electric.
I mean, people don't realise how much of the European breadbasket Ukraine was or is. The amount of grain that they produce, and that's why the prices have gone up for food. It's one of the reasons. There's lots of others, but that's one of the main reasons, is that they can't get the grain out of Ukraine. What they should be doing is, because it used to come out on the ships out of Odessa. Odessa's been blocked off. What they should do is have trucks running in and out of Ukraine and making it easy for those trucks to go and pick up the grain and bring out. Whether they must still be doing it, because that's how they've done it in the past. But they need a lot more trucks, and then that runs into another problem: there ain't enough truck drivers. So it's a catch-22, because people don't want to go into that industry. It's hard work. The legislation, and there's so many pressures put on drivers that why would they want to drive for peanuts when they can go and get a job in a warehouse, or in this country they can go on the dole and get as much money for sitting on their hands.
This is a problem, the complete system is all wrong, so but we're talking about this Just Stop Oil, the protest, the problems they're causing. There are better ways, as you've said, protesting.
If you want to make a difference, go stand for election. It's as simple as that, and that's what they should be doing. But I mean, they're sort of middle class idiots, really, that have got nothing better to do with their time. So there's students that have been fed all this garbage in university. Now they're on holiday for 12 weeks, so they've got the time on their hands to go and do it. And then you've got these idiot old age pensioners that are joining in as well. So I just beggars belief.
Yeah, it does.
So should we move on?
Yes.
Let's have a look at the next thing. Migrant crisis, illegal migrants. I mean, this is really starting to get out of hand. It's costing the UK taxpayer somewhere around about £8 million every single day. That's just a little tiny bit. Back in 2021, 25,000 illegal migrants came into the country across the channel. In 2022, 46,000 illegal migrants came into the country. And in 2023, so far, this year, I haven't checked the latest figures, but we've surpassed last year's figure. And we're looking like this year's going to be another record, somewhere about 65 to 80,000 illegal migrants coming across the channel.
Yes, that is a vast number, isn't it? And
it's unsustainable.
It is unsustainable because, because they're illegal, they should be sent back straight away.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the bit I don't get is they're picking these buggers up in the channel on the French side of the channel and bringing them to the UK. Why can they not pick them up on the French side of the channel and land them back in France? The law's there to do it. The agreement's there to do it. They should be doing that. They should be landing them back in France.
But this is the problem, isn't it? That it all boils down to money. And if you want safety, you stop in the first country that you can get asylum. But because of our system, where we pay out all this money to them, give them houses instead of giving them to our own homeless people. I mean, as soon as they arrive in the country, they get a full MOT at the medical centre or at the hospitals. And this is the problem, that you look and you think to yourself, all that all those resources are taken away from us, UK citizens that pay the tax. And this is where it's all wrong, because they arrive in France or whichever other country. That's where they should apply. They shouldn't be coming over here. I believe in legal migration, if they've got a cause where they're being persecuted, all this war, like the Ukrainians coming over. But it's most of these illegal immigrants are for financial reasons. They want jobs. They want better standard of living.
But the legal migration last year topped up at 1.1 million people came into this country. 1.1 million people came in legally last year. I mean, that's taken into consideration the likes of the Ukrainians that were fleeing, generally women and children, the Afghans that we'd left behind that managed to get themselves out. And of which 3 of those I've assisted with my local MP. To help them. I mean, they were stuck. We left them behind, basically. These are guys that worked for me when I was out there. And we've been in touch, and I managed to get them. We managed to get them out, get them into Pakistan and Iran, and get them brought over here. That's fine. I mean, that's what we owe them.
We do.
But you've got the likes of people from Hong Kong have got a right to come here. And then you've got, I mean, look at the students. Now, this doesn't make a lot of sense to me. You've got students coming in from like the likes of India or China, and they're bringing families with them. Why? The idea of going to university is that you leave the nest. You go home.
Yeah. Agreed on that. But this is it. This is people in it. It's they shouldn't allow it.
No,
they should stop it at source and say, no, if you go to university in this country, you leave your family back. You don't take them with you.
And then when you finish your course, you return to where you come from. And it's as simple as that. You don't give them an extra couple of years to stay here. No. You finish your degree, you bugger off. End of story.
I
mean, Tony Blair had this brilliant idea of every kid should be able to go to university. I mean, they wanted, what was it, 50% to go on to higher education. Why? When we've never had that, it's always been sort of between the 10 and 20%. Of kids that have gone on to university, and now they've got all these Mickey Mouse type degree courses that they're never ever never going to get a job with, never going to be able to earn enough to pay back tuition fees and all the rest that they've been given.
Agreed on that.
That needs to stop. They that comes off. So we've gone off the topic again. So off the back of these illegal migrants, but this is something that really should stop. And this is migrant lawyers telling illegals how to get around our laws. That is wrong. And that is so many levels. That is wrong. Why are these lawyers doing it?
Well, I mean, for money, and because these illegal immigrants can't pay the lawyers, they're getting it from the UK government, aren't they? Really?
How does that make any sense whatsoever? You come into the country illegally, you get free everything. If you get free accommodation, free phones, free food, free healthcare, and then on top of that, they give you legal aid to fight the government, and you've come in illegally.
Right.
So an average citizen steps out of line in this country, isn't entitled to legal aid.
No, I know.
They've got to foot the bill themselves.
Yeah, it's
And we
absolutely.
pay into the system, and it doesn't work for us.
No, it doesn't. Definitely not.
That needs to change.
Yeah,
And I
it does.
think if Reform UK get in, they will change that. They will tie up all these, fill in all these loopholes.
Yeah.
Stop it. Just stop it. Anyway, before we jump on too much of a soapbox,
Yes.
shall we move on to the next subject?
Yes.
Here we go. Tax on alcohol rises today, but draft beer is frozen.
Don't tell me that. Me G&T, me gin's going to go up every time I go to the supermarket. I'm going to have to cut down. Instead of having 2 bottles a week, it's going to have to be 1 bottle.
I know, it's crazy. How can we afford to keep paying taxes on our alcohol?
Yeah.
I mean, my alcohol consumption is going to take a nosedive. We can't afford it.
No. You've got to cut back somewhere, haven't you? You know, so
absolutely.
So will it be the heating back to oil and gas?
Yeah.
so we won't need those.
Is it going to be heating or drinking?
Yeah, it'll be drinking because a glass of G&T warms the insides up. So
absolutely,
I won't need the
glass of spice rum doesn't go amiss.
Yeah. This is it. Yeah. So how much are they putting it up, Tim? Because I haven't had the TV on and I haven't read the
I've not seen the percent that it's gone up, but this was in the last budget.
Yeah.
But they've frozen I think you'll save about 12 pence on a pint of beer.
Yeah.
So beer in pubs is not going to go up.
Yeah.
But everything else is spirits and wines going up. So it's a catch-22 on that.
Yeah. But you know, it's going to affect us because you're a drinker. You like a glass.
I do like a little drop.
Yeah. Same as me. I do. You know. So I mean, I don't drink outside, but when I come home, I enjoy a drink to relax. It helps me to relax. I don't go above units.
It's really expensive to go out for an evening in a pub nowadays.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, if you go out in London, you're looking about £7-8 for a pint.
Pint, yeah.
Out in the provinces, I mean, down here, I think you're paying £4.50, £5.50 a pint.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know how much a spirit is because, I mean, as I say, I never buy anything because
if you get a single, I mean, you can barely taste it. It's a tiny. However, I mean, you drink at home. I mean, it's sort of 2 fingers of gin.
Yeah.
So, we used to call it a Wendy measure, which is like 2 fingers of gin.
Yeah.
A really good friend of ours. I mean, she died a few years ago, but I used to drink with her regular, and a Wendy measure was. I mean, the average person, they'll be smashed after the first half a glass.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's the tax on alcohol going up today.
Yeah, fancy that though. You know, I mean, 1st of August going up. You know, I'll tell you what. With what we've discussed so far, is there any good news around?
Possibly this leads on to sort of the taxes going up. Now, tougher sentences handed out for shoplifters.
Yeah.
Have you seen this in the news? I mean, shoplifters are now, you have to be captured. You have to be charged 50 times before you're sent to prison for shoplifting.
Yeah. It's encouraging crime.
The police don't turn out to these events anymore.
Yeah.
You get shoplifters are shoplifting to order.
Yeah.
You give them a shopping list and they'll go and nick it for you.
Yeah. I see on the news the other night where those youths or whoever they were raiding the co-op, and the phone up, the police don't attend. So you're encouraging criminals to do just as they like. That's another topic, because I think the justice system is all wrong. I think I'm a great believer is like that type of crime, or if you steal from somebody, you should be made to pay back what you've stolen. If you can't pay it back, you wait for that person until the debt is paid off. I don't believe in throwing them straight in prison, because they come out.
No, I quite like the Saudi Arabia punishment for stealing. They cut your left hand off.
Yeah.
That deters them from stealing.
Yeah. But when you look at that, that must deter people.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, you don't steal it in Saudi Arabia, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I know people go on about the human rights, but if you steal or commit a crime, you shouldn't have any human rights.
No.
Because I mean, all right, people can say, well, I'm stealing because I can't afford to feed my family.
Yeah,
but there's other ways.
That's gone way beyond that nowadays. Nowadays, it's organised crime.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. It's organised crime, and these criminals, these shoplifters, are doing it to water on a massive scale.
Yeah,
they'll go in and clear a shop out.
Yeah,
and all that does is put the prices up for everybody else.
Yeah.
Or the shop will go under. If it's a small retailer, they'll go under.
Yeah.
And the police aren't doing anything about it.
Can we just say hello to Marcus, because he's just joined us in the stream?
All right. Morning, Marcus.
Marcus. Good morning to you. And
how you doing?
Good video. Just getting off the subject a minute, Tim, because Marcus is in. Did you watch Marcus's video on fear that he?
I did. He's a bit on about the procrastination and I'm worried about making it perfect. Well, I mean, we're doing this and we're perfect. So
wait, I didn't think I was perfect.
I think this looks rather professional myself.
Yeah. I don't think we're perfectionists. We're not. There's no one perfect in this world. We're all imperfect, and we all do our best. And
absolutely,
that's all you can do. And it's all about personality. If you've got a great personality, it's going to come across on these lives eventually, and you're going to grow. We're trying to do this every week, Marcus, on a Tuesday morning, about what's in the news. And as we're just talking about now, is tougher sentences to be handed out for shoplifters. No,
absolutely.
But there should be. So,
absolutely.
What type of sentence would you put out then, Tim?
I would make them a lot harsher. And instead of, I mean, if you get caught for something, and you eventually, because it takes a long time to go to court, and the courts dish out a punitive sentence, then something there needs to be done as well, because it's not a deterrent anymore. And what it should do is make prison life a lot harsher. Give them. I mean, we used to have what do they call it? Hard labour. You get a sentence with hard labour, and you make them work for it.
Yeah. Well, I agree with your.
Nowadays they get televisions, they get internet, they get their phones. No, take all of that away. Make it a deterrent. Make it hard.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Anyway, talking about sort of prison sentences and stuff like that, should we move on slightly?
Yeah.
Now, this guy David Hunter was sent to prison for a mercy killing. I forget, was it his wife or something like that? Was in real pain,
50 years.
Terminal. They were terminal anyway.
Yeah.
And he just assisted to die, put them out of misery. I mean, you don't let animals suffer. like
No.
we make humans suffer.
Mm.
If somebody's got a terminal condition, then there should be something in place for euthanasia. Switzerland's got the right idea, and I'm sure
Yeah.
Marcus will agree on that.
Yeah.
So in Switzerland, you can get assisted dying.
Yeah. But there again, in this country and most of the Western world, you've got the do-gooders who say, no,
Yeah,
let them suffer, let them suffer. I mean, all I can say is that I saw a friend who had cancer and they were in a lot of pain. And he asked his partner at the time
yeah,
to take his life, but she wouldn't. But fortunately enough, he didn't survive that much longer, although he
yeah,
was in a lot of pain. And as you say, if an animal's in pain, you just go to the vet, a quick
yeah,
injection, and that's it.
put it down.
And put it down. And if you've got no quality of life and you are in that much pain and morphine and the painkillers don't work, I think I would ask somebody if I was in
Absolutely.
that,
I mean, we used to have something called the Liverpool Care Plan,
yeah.
and effectively that was what it was. It was assisted. Somebody's so much pain, they were terminal anyway. They just give them a little bit more morphine until they pass. But all the do-gooders jumped on that and said, can't do that. Now they call it palliative care.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. But I look at what's happened in Cyprus there. I mean,
yeah,
he got a 2-year sentence because he's served the 2 years. So, but that should never have gone to court.
No,
I mean,
absolutely not.
His wife begged him, 50 years in marriage. He took her life and he was going to take his own life, but he wasn't successful in that.
It wasn't quick enough.
No. And I look and I think to myself, that man is going to suffer for the rest of his life because he's lost his partner of 50 years. But saying that, on his conscience, he should think to himself, well, it was a blessing. I have helped her. She's at rest. She's at peace now. But he's got to live with that. And it's going to be on his conscience for the rest of his life. All right. I know
I think he's comfortable with that decision.
Yeah.
Because he made that decision. And 50 years of living with somebody, you know him inside out. And he must love her to bits to be able to do that for her.
Yeah. So,
and then what happened to him was just wrong. I mean, it shouldn't have gone to court. It shouldn't have been investigated. She was terminal anyway.
Right.
And if somebody's got a terminal illness, then they should have the opportunity to have their life terminated.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask you, Tim, because your previous wife, she suffered with cancer.
Yeah.
Did she ever ask you? Did she ever get to that stage where she asked you?
We discussed it, yeah.
Yeah.
And we discussed it. And when it came to it, I mean, it was kind of that anyway. The last week of her life, she was in intensive care. Her heart rate was banging away 180 beats a minute. They tried to defib her to bring it back in, but it was the problem was the cancer came back a second time and it was far more aggressive than they hadn't realized. What I tried to do was do a stem cell transplant on her, and basically she caught an infection when she had no immune system whatsoever. But the cancer would have got her. It was horrible to see her go through it. I mean, she was in so much pain that last week in intensive care. And they just put one of these morphine in what's names on. So I was there for it as well. So right to the end. So that's my view on it. Yes, I think it should be allowed.
Oh, I do, but I don't think that the do-gooders in this country, will there'll always be somebody who says no,
Oh Christ,
no,
yeah.
no, no.
It's,
I mean,
there's
how many?
so many things that should be allowed and people don't.
Yeah, yeah.
So should we move on to the last subject of this morning?
Yes. By all means, Tim. Yes.
When will the next general election be called?
Well, sometime next year, or I mean, how long have got more? About another 15 months. So it could be
Yeah, I
next
think
year.
they can drag it out till about I think it's about January 25.
Yeah.
I think they will probably call it somewhere around about October next year.
I was thinking more of May time next year, because they seem to go for May or October general elections.
Yeah.
Who do I think's going to win the next one? That's very hard because we're in a two-party system. I don't think there'll be a big majority. I think we could get a parliament where the little parties may have a say.
Well, I mean, you know my feelings. I'm a fully paid up member of the Reform UK Party. As much as I like my local MP, who's a Conservative, I can't vote for her again. I just don't believe the Conservatives are Conservative anymore. So my vote will go to Reform UK, and I will promote everything I can about Reform UK, and encourage proper thinking people to look at the policies.
Yeah.
What I do think is that it will be a low turnout. People are so sick of politics at the moment.
Yeah.
The Conservative Party have got a leader that shouldn't have been put in the first place. The Labour Party, look at their front bench. It scares me that lot are likely to hold some sort of power.
Yeah.
And I think that they will have to do some sort of coalition to get power. It will be a tough one. But what I do think is Reform UK are going to stand. I think it's 630 candidates across the country.
Yeah.
They're going to stand a candidate in every single constituency across the country to give people the opportunity for change. And it's the only way we're ever going to get change is to get a party in that believes in Britain. The crop that we've got in there at the moment don't believe in us.
Yeah.
There are a few, the likes of the Conservative ERG, the Rees Moggs, the Mark Francois, and a few others. But they're like in the minority in the Conservative Party, and certainly Labour haven't got anybody that's got any sense whatsoever. Starmer, he flip-flops like it's going out of fashion. He's got advisors that are looking at the news and see what's trending, and he'll change his policy. I mean, he's just changed the policy on what was he? He's just changed it something just recently on illegal migration. No. Yeah. So he's flopped on that. There's one really ULEZ. He's on the fence with ULEZ.
Yeah.
And you just know that if they get in, they will have us back in Europe quicker than a heartbeat. And going against the 17.4 million people that voted to leave, that they just haven't given us, and that's the problem.
No, because it's only a partial Brexit, isn't it? Really, when you look at it,
it's only a name.
We're still paying for a lot of the things that we used to, and the problem now is we haven't got a vote. If we're not at the table,
what we should do is go full WTO with the EU, and just trade the same as we do with the rest of the world.
Well, yeah.
I mean, we've got that new agreement with the CPPPPP, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's opened up a massive market for us.
Mm.
And
yeah,
I mean, one positive is the Americans have got an election next year.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll get rid of Biden and get somebody in that wants to do a deal with us. I mean,
yeah.
Whether they'll get Trump back in.
Well, if he gets back in, we're not going to get a deal because Trump don't want the UK. He wants to make America great again. Like
but he'll deal with us. He'll give us a half decent deal that obviously benefits America, but will also help benefit us.
Yeah.
So, So there you go.
That's it then. That was we've had some good topics today discussing. So
I think we have. I mean, we've covered most of what's in the news at the moment.
Yeah. So, what do you think to these Tuesday morning lives then?
I think they're good. I think we can carry it on.
Yeah, so do I. I've thoroughly enjoyed being on your channel today, discussing these issues that affect everybody. So,
it's just a shame that we couldn't link up your channel. I don't know why it didn't work today. We'll have to have a look at that.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm on your thingy, Bob. Because I can do everything here.
Yeah.
I can change the layout and everything. So I think really what I've got to do is sign out of that because
and then come in through the link.
Yeah, I remember when with Gail, because she was a team member, when she clicked in, it took her to mine and she couldn't get on hers. So I think this is what's happened again because I'm a team lead, I'm on your team. So I've got to get rid of that. And then I come in on my own because the moment I signed in, I'm on yours instead of my StreamYard.
Yeah.
So
okay.
That is why. So we will do a test.
And then next week, hopefully we'll be going out on both our channels.
So thank you for having me, and I will be going live sometime today on my own channel for 10 minutes or something like that, because I'm going to start live streaming every day in August. And I believe you're going to try and do.
I'm going to have another bash at it. So
live
without leader, we're going to do it ourselves.
Yeah. So, can you remember what the things were that we could work on doing live streams?
Oh, no. Got a memory like a sieve, mate.
Yeah, we'll have to pick a subject and just work on it to get over better. Yeah. So we might do quite a few in August together.
I think that's a good scheme.
Yeah. So thank you. I'll just say thank you to Marcus and look forward to seeing you on Thursday. And if I do a live stream later on, hopefully I'll see you. So
phone gone off then. So thanks, Keith. Catch up with you soon. Well, there you go. That's 1st of August. One done, one down. Let's carry on through the rest of August, doing a live every day, and we'll do different subjects and different things. But next Tuesday we'll have another what's in the news today with Tim and Keith. So until then, TTFN. Ta-ta for now.